sucks because, like, yes, we're a little bit older. We're definitely a little bit older, but we can still get into the coding game, bro. It's just you have to be willing to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
that's
once
pretty
you're willing,
much it.
because it's like one could be like, yo, you could say that about anything, but that's not necessarily true. Because yeah, you can be like, yo, I want to learn to fly planes, bruh. That's something a little bit more tricky as far as learning. You might fuck around and crash that motherfucker, but coding, yeah, you might make some mistakes, but hopefully it's not a matter of if you make a mistake, automatically you make some type of virus that's gonna delete everything in the world type shit, you know?
Well, at least it's not a matter of life and death. Like you fuck up like whatever flying the plane, it's all over for you. There is no coming back from that.
Exactly. But when it comes to these apps or coding, well, more coding, when like that's something I want to learn too. Because honestly, bro, in my opinion, that's the future. And if what happens if me or you were to create some type of app that kind of like how people are creating like what's a Facebook, whatever, just apps that like I have certain ideas that granted it could come into fruition where it wouldn't be invading anyone's privacy in the sense of like because the concept it kind of would be, but it kind of wouldn't be like for example, no. See, if I feel like if I say the idea, then I'm gonna fuck around and give away that IP, and I'm not really trying to do that. But
Off
I'll tell you
camera.
exactly, tell you off air. But yeah, man. Well, just to quickly introduce ourselves, my name is Graham,
I'm hungover Trent today.
and we don't. Hey, bro, we wouldn't have it any other way, man. Real shit, real shit.
I'm actually not that bad at all. I'm just a bitch.
Hey, bro. But,
Let's be real.
But that is what it is, bro. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, man. I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of like one can make a lot of money, like not even about money, but like especially if you had good ideas that like could really assist, like different like healthcare apps or certain things like hospital near you apps and shit like that. Not even on no Google Maps type shit, but on some like you just click the app that you have and like it locates literally like the closest hospital. It tells you what type of identification you need to get admitted, different things like that. Like, you know, like it's just put in an easier step up and like where yes, it might need your location because obviously that's how it'll be able to pinpoint where you are, but it's
That's
not
pretty much like every app nowadays, though. It requires location, and it is
some
what it
type of
is.
location. Granted, if you want to use certain features that require location, you have to unfortunately give it that permission, and it's real
Mm-hmm.
shit. But yeah, man, and even to that point, it's like for you to mess around and we have to give all to allow this app to use your microphone to record, allow this app to use your video camera to record, and you're like, damn, because it's like even if I'm not using
Access
those
to your
apps, are they
contacts
still
or whatever.
yeah, like are you still recording my shit when I'm not using it? Even if my Wi-Fi is connected, but I'm not using the app, it's like shit's wild out here,
Yes,
bro. You have to be bugging. That's why, like, when you said, like, yo, you had some trouble signing in, it's like shit, bro. Like, that's what made me think, like, yo, these things are, but it goes back to like just not trying to invade people's privacy, unfortunately. But like at the same time, it's like that's what a lot of apps and different things like that are doing as far as not about only invading privacy. It's more about like collecting the data, right? Like trying to trip out and he signed in this many times from this device. And then as soon as you sign in from your friend's phone because you forgot your phone at home, what do? Shoot you 7, 8 emails telling you, was this you that signed in? And it's almost kind of scary because it's like, wait a minute, bro, it was me. But at the same time, it's good that you are kind of on that. Like, cause it's like, what if it wasn't me that
no,
signed in Montreal? Like, but it was me that signed in Montreal. I just traveled and forgot my phone back in Toronto or whatever. You know what I mean?
I forget. There's one app I use quite a bit. I can't even remember which one it is. But the other day, I went to log in on here, like use it on here, and it said I need to. It said you gotta like verify a step. So basically, I had to go on my phone, verify that it was me using it from here to here, and then I was able to. Oh, it was Instagram. That's what it was. Like using the desktop app, it wouldn't let me get any farther than that. It said, okay, you logged in. Like I put my password and everything. It said, well, you still have to like it's like a 2-step identification sort of thing, just to make sure it is me on my Instagram page.
See, and that's the only shitty part, in my opinion, bro. Like, if you have to sign in 7, 8, 9 times type shit, once you actually get in, you have to verify that it's you. However, you have to verify that it's you. And it's like, and I get it for security purposes, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, the fact that you do have all this data, you do have my IP address, XYZ, granted, like, or you do have some type of encryption to know that it's this phone that continuously signs in, you should know. I shouldn't have to, make sure you're not a robot by clicking these 4 pictures and shit
We
like
have to
that.
prove we're not a robot to a fucking robot. How insane is that?
Isn't that fucking amazing?
Like, honestly, that's one of the most frustrating things about life.
But
First
like,
world problems, but like for real, like you got to
no,
prove
and
you're
it's
not a
definitely
robot
first
to a
world problems.
robot.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like to try to prove your verification or whatever. But it's like, I don't know.
Fucking Turing is just doing spins in his fucking grave thinking about this. Jesus Christ.
I hear you, bro, but it's like, I mean, hey, that's the only thing that's so shitty about it, because it's like going back kind of sort of to like if we knew how to code and make different apps and shit like that, like because we could take our time and like take over the game, so to speak, like putting our own kind of chess pieces on the board, you know?
It's difficult right now because it's a monopoly on the tech game pretty much. Like Facebook and or Google pretty much owns everything. So if you can't um
See, that's the trend.
trying to think of how to put this. um
No,
so it happened recently, and this was an example of just an example, the only one I can come off the top of my head. And it's not a bad example. It's not a bad thing that this happened to, by the way. Parlor. There was this like white supremacist fucking Facebook sort of thing they had going on. It was shittily run and all that. But after the Capitol stormings, they Apple and Android dropped it from their Play Store and their App Store, so you couldn't find it on either of those app stores. Where else are you going to go to find your apps?
mm,
So that pretty much killed them right there, killed their stock, killed everything about it. You couldn't get it on any different platforms or anything like that. Try to find it. So that was pretty much the end of it right there. So that's an example of just like
the context of monopoly, right?
exactly. It was a good thing that it did this, but it's just like it just could easily be applied to you and I making our app, and I put it up there, and they're like, "No, we don't want it on here," and they ban us from both of the things. Then, well, there was our time and money gone.
In context of you knowing how to code, you actually being able to put it into fruition and execute that plan becomes more of a reality than just, yeah, well, that was my idea. You're actually fucking around and putting in like that's the kind of shit where it's like, that's why when you mentioned earlier coding, it's like, you know what I mean, possibilities, because almost everything, I should say, is going digital, bro. Almost everything in context.
Everything pretty much.
Yeah. Still need cars and different things like that. But if you were the type of person that you created some type of tablet, whatever, that goes inside the car that just, you know what I mean, on some Elon Musk type shit, that like you could just go above and beyond to have like, you know exactly how much fuel is in the car, and it shows you like a picture of the gas tank or whatever. But nah, man, all I'm saying is it's dope in that regard, where if you were to be able to come up with those ideas, Trent, and then execute them because you yourself know how to code, or I know how to code, that shit would be dope, man. Like, and it's not, it's actually a really great idea. I'm gonna try to. I appreciate you just influencing. Like, not that I didn't know what coding and shit was, but you putting that influence on me today to inspire me to learn how to code, bro. I appreciate that shit.
Hey,
I appreciate
anytime.
that shit. I'm gonna fuck around and now try to learn how to code, bro. There's a few things I want to learn how to do better. Appreciate it.
I feel like
Appreciate it.
that guy from that one movie. I lead people to a treasure that I can't possess, sort of something like that.
Oh, that's fucking Avengers, bro.
See, I've
That's
never seen any of
Buddy
those
from
movies, so like,
Avengers. No, so but that was the quote that Buddy. That's like basically he's like a red phantom that like he's floating to the one of the Infinity Stones that the basically good guys have to get, bro. And he's basically expressing that like, yo, he's going to a place that basically he can't possess, bro. Like, he's going to a place where he's getting a prize that he can't possess, and it's just super duper unfortunate, because it's like you're getting I don't know how to explain it other than it's like you're getting the dope idea from like and the fact that you haven't even seen it, but it's been said somewhere where you heard it, and like,
memes.
yeah, that's dope. That's memes. There you go. Dope. Yeah, man. It's basically, and forgive me if I didn't really make sense, because my train of thought kind of got threw off a little bit because like of a scenario happening on the external, but Yeah, man. All I was simply saying was like, yeah, because in the movie he couldn't go. Like them two good guys had to go get the stone, and he led them to it. But basically, like they had to sacrifice one of them, one of the two good guys, to get the stone. But either way,
Fair enough.
man, it's one of those ones where it's like, but back to tech, bro. If you fucking snap and you were like the visual graphic designer and shit on that movie, you made mad money because there was so much dope shit that happened in that film. But it goes
I
back
heard
to this
it.
whole shit,
I've
especially
heard about it.
how me and you were going above and beyond to hopefully make our mark on this in history and carve, you know what I mean, carve our names in stone, so to speak. It's one of those things where like developing these ideas and actually like executing them, I promise you we gonna snap. But having that plan, my G, having that plan and like taking care of one checkpoint at a time or whatever, that's what I'm on, bro. Slowly but
For me
surely this
right
shit.
now, it's just a matter of like learning. That's where I feel I'm at still. Even at this stage in the game, I still feel like I'm still trying to learn all the pieces before I can actually do it. But then
That's
there's
dope.
times
Elaborate.
there's times where I could just like there's other things where I don't have to learn and I just do it sort of thing. I don't know. Like that's just how I feel right now as a human at this point in my life. Like I feel like I'm behind on a lot of things, so I'm trying to get up to these places, but it is what it is. We all go at our own pace. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing. You feel like, if one feels like they're quote unquote playing catch up, bro. And it's weird. I feel like most of us are in similar boats in that regard because it's like even if you okay, put it this way, even if you were to acquire a lot of money at a young age, for example, via the lottery, you still might not have those developmental skills. Let's just say you're 18, 19, you just were able to play, so to speak, and you won it. You still weren't able to develop certain things, whether it's communication skills between you and a quote unquote grown woman, whether it's you might not have known financial literacy to be able to take care of that. So you might fuck around and blow it way faster than you were supposed to. There's just a whole bunch of things in the context of feeling like you're behind. So that's why it's like us being in our like late, like, you know, mid to late 20s or whatever, going to a point of saying like, yo, man, like I feel like I'm behind. Like I feel you 100%. And I feel like a lot of people, despite age, because age is a number, unfortunately, maturity, like that's the choice we have to make. So you saying like you're just trying to learn and grow and feeling like you're behind, like, bro, I feel you 100% to the core on that shit, bro.
Well, Tech said it best. You fight the hardest when you start from behind. And that's pretty much been my entire life. That's how I felt like not behind and like just feel like I should have been farther where I am, but here we are. And all you can do is just be a bit better than the day before, leave yourself a bit better than you were the day before,
Facts.
leave this place a bit better than the day before too.
That's facts, bro. That's facts. Man, hey, and that's what it is. Like it's like you I don't know. I like it. I like it though because it, like when you do attack a situation from a place that was behind, so to speak, or you feel like everyone had a head start from you. Yeah, bro. Like it just makes you look like I wouldn't rather be in any other place because you know, like you basically like got it authentically. Nothing was handed to you and different things like that, right? So that's why it's like
Amen.
as one feels like, as like, hey, bro, as one feels like they're behind or coming from behind, your victories are going to taste that much sweeter. And it's like it's almost like because yeah, like we all in my opinion, like we all feel like we have a chip on our shoulder, like, and it might even be like, for example, like it might even be like your physical stature or whatever the case is that you might be like I might, oh man, I'm super fat, blah blah blah, man, and I ain't got no girls and this that and the third, but I'm gonna get buff and skinny, and then you work out, and next thing you know you get buff and skinny, and then next you know all the women want you, for example, and then you're saying to yourself, see, like or whatever, you feel like the victory's sweeter or whatever because now you know like it was you who accomplished it by yourself. And it's not to be like on some shallow shit using that example, or even like me, like I'm a shorter guy, like if I was like, oh, technically I can't get taller, so to speak, but if you were to fuck around and get taller in, like, you know what I mean, like in morals, ethics, different things like that, as far as being more of a decent person or whatever the case is, you expand yourself as a human okay, it might be like you find that internal victory where you're like, it tastes that much sweeter because it's like, you're right. You can't change the one statue or whatever, but if you accomplish, quote unquote, more than somebody who you might feel like they should have accomplished way more than you in said area, like let's just say me being a shorter guy, I got to the NBA. That would be wild in a sense, but there's been a few examples who've done it. But I'm
Multi
just saying, like,
bugs.
hey, bro, like, oh, you hate, but that's the thing. And he, Earl Boykins, Nate Robinson. Not saying that he's the greatest example for it, in the sense of recent times, he got knocked out, unfortunately. But that doesn't deter anything he's accomplished. People and hate on people, but fuck, you know, a lot in the NBA and going above and beyond to be like one of the better players. So like he's accomplished, and people who have incredible feats who come from behind. So you might be
I
right
agree.
on pace, bro, on some real shit. You might be right on
Two
pace.
things.
You know what I mean? Even though one feels like they're behind. Yeah, break it
Um,
down. Break it down.
did I send you that Twitter video of basketball in the 80s and like just a compilation of like this like 80s and like early 90s basketball?
Maybe. I think
Dude,
so.
it looked like
I think so.
fucking hockey. Like they're literally just bodying each other, like just throwing hands and stuff. I was like, my God, like you had to be a badass back in the day to play. Well, you probably still do, but like you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like it was a
Yeah.
lot more rougher back then. And the other thing, rest in peace, Marvin Hagler. He died last
Yeah.
night.
Oh
Um,
man.
one of the greatest boxers of all time, and one of the most intense competitors you'll ever see. Yeah, 66 too. Like what the fuck.
Damn. Like my boy just said, yeah, one of the greatest boxers who ever lived. And that's the sad part about it, my dear sir, is like the fact that these legends, but granted, I think he said 66, if I heard him correctly, and that's
Yep,
relatively young. Like if and like that's super unfortunate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, man, that's relatively young. Cause like that's around like my parents' age, bro. Perished at this age right now, but that's still to speak. You know what I mean? To get to 66, if he was like had all his cognitive skills and things like that, and he was still like functioning, so to speak. Hey, bro, he might have lived a real beautiful full life up until 66. You know, so that's one
exactly.
thing. Like, but it's a very obviously super. This is super unfortunate. Regardless, it's super unfortunate. You know.
Exactly. I was sitting in the bar last night and I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, what? And it wasn't like, yeah, it just said suddenly. We don't really know what happened. So right now, anyways.
Okay. Yeah,
Man,
man. And those are the sorry.
Christ, the fight with Tommy Hearns was probably the greatest fight you'll ever see. Like that first round, they just went at it. Like it looked like it looks like a video game when you're watching it. It doesn't look real. They're just throwing and just landing, and they're both landing. They're both rocking each other, and oh, it's crazy. He was fucking amazing, man. Holy shit.
Oh, and it's a thing of beauty. But see, hey, bro. And although like we kind of shifted towards this topic, it's just as simple as saying back to like we kind of touch on it. We don't touch on it like every week, but we kind of like in a little bit touch on it in a sense of in a roundabout way.
It's like the theme.
Yeah, man. But it's like just understanding like life is beautiful, but life can be short. So it's like, yo, you got to cherish your moment. Pressing to you, the listeners, saying like we should be X, Y, and Z. I promise you, even me, like I promise you, I'm extremely happy who I am. But it's just we want to make improvements, things of that nature, right? We want to get rid of certain things that we might feel like, yo, man, like this ain't the look for me, or this ain't it for me. But at the same time, we got to remember life is precious, and we don't know when, you know what I mean, when we out of here. So still take your time and enjoy that shit. That's why, like, even
Exactly.
with me and you, like, bro, like, I know we both know our poison, so to speak, but bro, you got to still enjoy yourself, and you know what I mean, like, you got to still, you know,
Well, I know my poisons, unfortunately.
hey, bro. But that's hey, but it's like we got to still fuck around and enjoy ourselves, is what I'm saying too, because
Exactly.
yes, we want to prolong life and live a full life and shit like that, but at the same time, granted, we want to still have fun and quote unquote live life on the edge while our bodies can take that, so to speak. And because eventually, yeah, you're gonna fall back from that certain scenarios, and live a more modest life or whatever. Granted, you choose to. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone. Obviously, certain rock stars stay rock stars forever, and that is what it is. That's a beautiful thing too. I'm just saying, certain people they just choose to fall back after a while.
It's not a bad thing to fall back. It's not a good thing. It's you shouldn't be doing this to your body, frankly.
Yeah, I know, yo. My boy out here, he's just trying to get right. But yo, to you listeners, just remember, yo, like, subscribe, follow us. The links are in the description below. We love y'all. Trent, holla at the people, my G.
Yeah, like, subscribe, check us out. We've got a bunch more videos out there, and there'll be more coming too.
That's my dog, yo. All right, bro. We out here. Another episode. That's what's up. Trent's like Micah Beza.